Today I am sharing my top DIYs, hacks, and dupes using Dollar Tree items that you have to try for yourself. Please hit the thumbs up button and let's go ahead and jump on into it. So I always have this decorative nautical rope on hand from the Dollar Tree, and I have used it for so many years, but you can actually make high-end pieces using this nautical rope and just not the same old DIYs. So I love these hanging baskets. I was really inspired by these, but you could tell that they were really expensive. So I wanted to make a smaller, like more inexpensive version of this, and a really fun hack is to actually take some nautical rope, wrap it around one of these glass candle holders, and turn it into a basket itself. So I do start just by wrapping the rope by itself till I get like a flat piece that's big enough for the glass to set on, and then wrap it around the glass container, trying not to glue the rope directly on the glass container, and then I am able to pull it out, attach the rope to itself. I do use my lighter to singe off any of the excess like pieces or strings that are coming off of it, and then I just painted the bottom for a little bit of a paint dipped look and then attached a piece of ribbon for a handle. This is one of my favorite DIYs ever. I use this all the time and I'm constantly changing out the floral inside of it so it goes with each season. Kind of using the same concept, I just use any glass bowl that I already have on hand because you're not ruining the bowl. You can easily peel off the hot glue. Just kind of doing the same thing as before, wrapping the rope around the bowl until I get like a bowl shape itself. And this is going to be perfect for springtime decor because I am creating a fun little nest. Now you could leave this as a bowl. You could even paint the inside of it, or try not to get excess hot glue, but I wanted to turn this into a really fun little bird's nest, so I do add some extra glue inside and put in some Spanish moss. Now it's really fun to decorate this bird's nest. I picked up a couple of random foam birds at Dollar Tree, and I just didn't love the neon yellow color with my decor that I was going for. So I just used a little bit of blue paint to paint them, and then using a teeny tiny brush, I am going ahead and just outlining their eyes and their beaks, and then I made this cute little chalkboard sign, and I feel like this is absolutely adorable. I love decorating with old books. You can easily pick some up at the thrift store. I have some older Dollar Tree books. I just removed the big plastic labels, and then I'm going to be covering them in some scrapbooking paper that I cut down. This one doesn't even fit 100% perfect at the bottom, but no one's ever going to know. I'm going to use these as little decor pieces and risers. But the best part of this DIY is these are going to have like secret storage on the inside. So these would make incredible gift ideas, or maybe you want to stick something fun like a little note in there for someone special. But these turned out really cute, just Mod Podge underneath the paper as well as on top. And a little hack, if you want to try to avoid wrinkles, you can actually spritz your scrapbooking paper with just like a bottle of water and get it a little bit wet. But to go ahead and remove the middle, I do Mod Podge all the pages together, let that completely dry, and then using any straight edge, I go ahead and mark what I want to remove, and then using a utility knife or razor knife, I go ahead and start chipping away, getting a few pages out at a time. So this is about how much that I removed. You can see it did leave it a little bit ripped and messy looking, so doing another layer of Mod Podge just to seal everything in and nothing's going to be pulled up or be able to be ripped off of it. Letting that completely dry again, and then you can use this. You could give this as a gift, like I said, put notes or gift cards or some type of secret storage, but I love these. But they also look perfect as just a standalone decor piece. I love using pencil cups from the dollar store or Dollar Tree. I lucked onto these wooden ones and wanted to make some really fun tall cylinder planters because I had a lot of like hanging greenery. So I painted 2 of them gold and 2 of them white. I'm going to just do every other one after they completely dry, hot gluing them together. I find these hanging succulents from Walmart. They're also found at Hobby Lobby, anywhere from $3 to $5, but I actually cut them apart so that they go farther, and I have more control about where the greenery will be hanging from. But I love how tall this is so the greenery can hang down, and then made a couple of matching ones that I can set around it. I love when I can find these wooden boxes. So many great things you can do with these. For this first project, I'm using 3 of the biggest sizes and popping out 2 of the bottom of the 3. So then I can stack them up. Now you can see that they do have these label holders on the front, and I didn't like how it looked with all 3 of them. So I go ahead and take a screwdriver to remove the top and the bottom one, and then glue these all together. I have made so many wooden boxes using Dollar Tree wooden pieces, and it's a little bit hard to glue them all perfectly shaped, so these pre-made boxes are perfect to just glue on top of each other, and you get the perfect solid wood box that I love so much. I created a fun label and then stuck in a lot of this fun greenery. Now I'm using 3 of the smaller boxes and gluing them in a row beside each other, and then filling this up with some fun greenery. I found these at Dollar Tree last year, but I hope that they do come out with some new fun spring items, putting these in some little planters, and I feel like this is really pretty and high-end looking, perfect to set on a shelf or entryway table. But as much as I love this as is, you also can use this same idea for a crafting area. I use this to just organize some craft supplies. I put in some little labels with paintbrushes and scissors, and I feel like this looks really cute in a crafty area as well. I think one of the funnest things to do at Dollar Tree is looking for the unique pieces that you know you can make over even if they don't fit your style. So these bright yellow and blue vases just weren't my favorites. I went ahead and covered up the yellow with some white chalk paint, and then using a mixture of baking soda with some gray paint. I used a light gray and darker gray to darken up the color quite a bit. Painted that on the bottom. This is going to give it some gorgeous texture and make it look like it's actually more of like a ceramic stone. And then I'm going to create some really fun labels by using some rub-on transfers as well as some of the Dollar Tree laser cut charms. Always keep an eye out when it comes to clearance decor. I found this big sign that was originally $5 at Dollar General on clearance for $1 or less. It was very inexpensive. They were clearancing out some of the last year or last season stuff. Now I am using one of these home signs from the Dollar Tree, and that is going to kind of just be my focal point on the sign. I did want to cover up the saying and the flowers by adding this beautiful script paper, just gluing that down, cutting off any of the excess, and then adding back on the frame. I feel like using some of this Dollar Tree faux leather is really what set this apart and made it look so high-end and gorgeous. I have this plank that I thought would be the perfect size to set inside the sign, so I'm using that as a pattern to cut down my faux leather. But what also makes this look really high-end is grabbing some hardware. So I'm using some of these big thumbtacks that you can find in the Dollar Tree section, cutting the tack piece off and then just gluing the head of it down in all of the corners, and it looks like it actually has metal hardware. And then I painted the home and the frame to match each other just with some spray paint that I had on hand. But I feel like this is so gorgeous, and you'll never know that this is a Dollar General old sign. Dollar Tree is usually really committed to putting out these big seasonal signs, which I love so much. So many things you can do with these and make them over. One of my favorite hacks is to actually frame these with some of the tower blocks. This is not only really inexpensive, but it turns out beautifully. For only a few bucks, you can make like a gorgeous, like bigger wall art piece. You could even like attach multiple of these signs together to even get a bigger piece. So it's so much fun to play around with all of these ideas and try to put your own spin on it. I just ran the tower blocks so I had enough to see how many I needed, but I did have a little bit of space on the sides that needed some extra, so I had to cut them down with my miter shears, and then went ahead and stained these with some of my favorite flagstone stain. After these completely dried, I just lined them up along the side of the sign, attached them together, glued them down, and then put on my favorite decal. Using the same technique, I'm using 2 of these Easter signs, attaching them on the back, or actually this is their front side, but I didn't want to try to cover up any of the bright colors or texture that this sign had, so attach the popsicle sticks to get these to stay together, and then make this the new front of the sign. I did fill in the holes where the little jute twine hangers were, painted this white, leaving a little bit of the brown exposed to look a little bit distressed. And then this is a really fun idea. Walmart sells these big MDF letters, and it can be expensive to purchase these for every sign you want to make, so sometimes I just like to trace over them and use them as stencils so that I can reuse these over again. I didn't care that they weren't 3D on this sign. I feel like that little Dollar Tree welcome fits perfect up there, and the home fit perfect on these signs, but then I decided I didn't want to use the O in the home. I wanted to replace it and make a really fun wreath. The incredible thing about making a wreath is that you could make this interchangeable. You could make a wreath for spring, fall, winter, and every day. I put a little hook down into the board and just made a neutral one for now, but I feel like this is such a gorgeous piece, and it's huge to be made with Dollar Tree items. I love making dupes or being inspired by pieces that I see at other stores. So I'm using a 6x8 and 8x10 canvas to create this fun like sign. Now on the original product it was metal, but it's so much easier obviously to work with wood pieces from the Dollar Tree. So I am using a big canvas and a smaller canvas, and then I played around with it to see how I could get it to attach it to look like the one in the photo. So I played around with the tower blocks and they were too short, so then I added a taller block, but then discovering that one of the large wooden beads works perfect for the top and it actually looks like it could spin. I just glued these down in place so it won't spin, but it does look like the metal one would spin. Then I painted everything black and then glued a white painted piece of wood on the back so I could decorate it. I always feel like finding the perfect decals are way better than trying to hand paint anything, so I actually picked these up from a dollar store. I'm not sure which one. I don't think it was Dollar Tree, but Dollar Tree has tons of wall decals or letters that you can spell anything you want. I just put a few of the cutest words on there, how they were like written, and I like the font, how it was mixed up, and then using some of these little rub-on transfers. These little leaves come on a pack from Dollar Tree. I touched up the black paint, and I feel like I got exactly what I was going for, but only cost a few bucks to make instead of the original like over $30 some price point. Also on Kirkland's website, they had some like metal and glass jars like this with the top and the bottom, and I thought that was kind of like really inspiring seeing like the top and the bottom coordinate together. So I knew I could do that with these fun jars from Dollar Tree. I just had to take the lid off of another jar, but I can definitely repurpose that for something else. But it fit perfect right down inside there. I just removed the label using my Goo Gone pen to remove the excess, which makes it so easy whenever you forget to heat up your labels or put them under cold water or whatever. I know there's a ton of hacks. I've tried every different way, and I usually do heat it up, but forgot this time. But go ahead and paint everything coordinating. I glue a bead on the top one so it looked like it had a little handle, and painting it with some hammered spray paint. Then I'm just coming in and gluing it onto the bottom, and this would be so cute in like a set of 2 or 3, so I'm definitely going to have to get some more jars just like this one. But you can fill this with anything you want. It would look really cute with some pasta or any type of decor in there. Whenever it comes to wall hangings, I love like these scroll type pieces. It's so easy to do. You can literally take any artwork you want and put a piece of wood at the top and the bottom, and it looks so high-end and good. For this one, I'm actually cutting down some paint sticks, but I wanted to create my own fun decor. I had found some fun decals at the Dollar Tree that I wanted to put on here. So using 2 of these large paint sticks, I do pick these up at Walmart or Lowe's, any hardware store. They're usually under $2, literally like 30 cents each, but I buy this pack of them, and I wanted to attach it flush to the top without having to glue it to the front. So I flipped it over backwards and attached a piece of glue to hold this snug together, so you're not going to be able to tell that it's glued in the bag. I do attach a like twine hanger to the top, and then attaching a fun decal. So I love this one. It says be patient, be gentle, be humble. I thought it was really cute, and it's actually like removable in separate pieces, so it was easier to get straight. Added some charms and greenery to the top of this sign, and definitely one of my favorite pieces. Next up, all you need is some cardboard and nautical rope. I'm just using these 2 like signs or wood pieces as a template, so I know how to cut the perfect circle in different sizes. So all I had to do was trace these, cut it out, and then using some of my nautical rope, I just kind of roll it on top of it. But using the cardboard as support just makes it a lot stronger and easier to move around. But I'm making some really fun little trivets that you can actually set decor on, and it's really going to make it pop, especially if you're setting like white on white or just need to elevate something. These are so easy to put together, but do make a big impact when decorating. It was actually like accidental that this rope was 2-toned. I used a lighter rope and then a dark one, but it turned out so gorgeous. I love how they look. Use my lighter to singe off any of the extra hairs or strings, and then you can tell what a huge difference it makes putting it under like this pot or planter. It really just makes it pop off of the table. One of my favorite things to do is to look for some fun planters when Dollar Tree puts them out at the beginning of the year, and seeing all the fun spring planters and then turning them into some hanging pots. So it's really fun to hang these outside, inside, and put some fake flowers in there or fake greenery. I feel like it looks really pretty. So for this one, I just wanted to lighten it up a tiny bit, so use some painter's tape to tape off the wood pieces, lightened it up with some gray paint, and I just feel like it gave it a little bit of extra texture and dimension. I did use a drill to drill 3 holes in there, double knotted it, hot glued the knots down in place, and then dressed this up with some fun jute twine ribbon. Next up, you can grab one of these wicker wreaths from the Dollar Tree, and I have a couple of different ways you can use these. First is to stack them up to create a really fun planter. You can glue them together while attaching them with some jute twine, and then I like to hot glue some nautical rope in between so it doesn't have like big gaps or spaces in between them, and this makes such a fun, gorgeous planter that looks really natural and warms up any space. Another fun way to use one of these wreaths is to make a centerpiece out of it. So I like to pick up a large glass container, and then I'm going to be attaching a lot of leaves to this. Now you won't be able to see it, but I always worry about that it will show through, so I wanted to dull it down just a tiny bit. So I did paint over it with some chalk paint, and then Dollar Tree had these fun like leaves out, so I just tied them with some jute twine and then mixed in some different types of greenery. You can also do this with like pre-made wreaths that you can buy at Walmart or the dollar store or any store. Just lay it down on a table and put a glass container in the middle with like a candle or some vase filler in it, and it would instantly be like a really fun like centerpiece or candle ring. But it is fun to go ahead and DIY them, also being inexpensive if you can get the florals inexpensive, but I feel like this looks really pretty popping off of that wood. I love making these seasonal rugs for like each season and each year, and they're very inexpensive, so it's just fun to update them whenever they go bad or just start to fade. For this one, I did get on Cricut and use my Cricut to cut out this set of 3 succulents. It did say "Don't let me die" at the top. I didn't like that for a doormat, so I went ahead and ungrouped it and then removed the top. So I just want to focus on printing out or cutting out those 3 little pots. I didn't use transfer tape because I felt like it would struggle to attach to the rug, so I just individually pulled it off of the backing and then placed it down, and this worked perfect. I went ahead and painted some black paint to outline it all, and then I'll fill it in with some green acrylic paint. I didn't even pre-mix any of this green paint. I just kind of dipped it in the different color shades of green. I feel like it gave it that like highlight and shadows that I wanted, making them look a little bit different. And then for the bottom or the pots, I didn't even like fully fill them in. I just barely went over them with a little bit of gray to kind of give the same effect. And I don't know, this is just one of my favorite like outdoor projects. I think it is so cute, and I usually am that person that buy all the succulents and cute little succulent decor pieces whenever it becomes springtime. Next up, I am using 2 of these Dollar Tree rugs to create a fun pillow for my porch swing. I feel like this turned out so gorgeous, even better than I imagined. So doing the same thing, just I found the word home, and it did have a ton of tiny heart detail, but I didn't even add that on here. I just did the home and just stuck in the little pieces so that you could see the O and then the little like loop at the bottom, and then painted this black. This was super easy to do. You don't have to have a Cricut to do this. You could trace letters, use stickers or anything to just kind of use as a stencil. And then I remove that, let this completely dry, and then I'm going to hot glue these rugs like facing each other so that I can create the pillow shape. I left a little bit of an opening at the top so they could fill this in with some stuffing. I used an old pillow that I already had that I wasn't using anymore to fill this up. Made sure I hot glued everything nice and tight, and then added some buttons for extra decor. built so many like candle lanterns, so many that I can't count, but I have discovered if you use photo frames, it's so much easier than trying to build them from scratch using like the wooden planks or something. So I found this fun like framed wall decor, and I just removed the little top pieces or the artwork so I could use these frames. I feel like they were like the perfect width, they were really thick and just held a nice shape. I used dowel rods to attach these together, so just laying them down on their sides and gluing them together at the same time. Although these frames were already gold, I wanted it to match the dowel rods perfectly, so I went out and spray painted this to cover up the hot glue as well, and then put in a mini little wreath or candle ring, as well as one of these LED candles, and I feel like this looks so high-end and gorgeous, one of my favorite pieces. One of my favorite things to use are the Dollar Tree plates to make over for fun decor for each season. Now this is one that you can use every day, but I feel like it is so gorgeous. I used some black chalkboard paint that I did pick up from Dollar Tree, and I'm just painting a middle circle. Now it does have the little rim that you can kind of follow, or you can cut something out or trace something if you want to get it perfect. But the fun, unique thing about this is I've never really thought about it until this project, but I used the entire sheet to transfer around the plate. I feel like it looks so gorgeous and so much better than just doing like a random word here and there, but love how the black matches the middle chalkboard and you could write anything that you would want inside. Now I just tried to match these as good as I could and go in. You can use a Sharpie to fix any letters that messed up. I put Family Established 2020 in here. This would make an incredible gift idea, but also something really cute to put in the dining area. And then the last project I had, I'm picking up some of these wooden, I call them little fence pieces, but they're like mini little pallet signs, but removing the jute twine piece, and I'm going to make like a fun riser. So I go ahead and attach these together, removing all of the labels and things. I do have to paint them white, but this is just going to be like a cute riser that looks really cute painted, especially putting on like a wood or dark table, and it kind of acts the same thing as like the rope trivet. It's just really making the decor pieces on top like pop out and kind of house them together really cute. So after I attached these with some popsicle sticks just for a little bit of extra stability and make sure it wasn't going to fall apart, I painted it white, and then I'm putting some little rip-on transfers on the front. I used this little green vine, and I intentionally just put it on the front because I'm going to fill this up with decor and that's all you're going to be able to see. But I feel like this is so gorgeous and fun, perfect for this upcoming spring season.